The Maggie B by Irene Hass, Aladdin paperbacks. The Maggie B. This is the story of a wish come true. Margaret Barnstable, who wished on a star one night. North Star, star of the sea, wish for a ship named after me, to sail for a day, alone and free, with someone nice for company. Then she went off to bed. When she woke up, she was in the cabin of her own ship. It was named the Maggie B, after her nice company. After her in the nice company was her brother James, who was a dear baby. A rooster crowed on the deck, so Margaret knew the day was about to begin. She took James out to welcome in the sun. It warmed them up and brightened the sky. On the poop deck there was a tiny farm. There was a goat and some chickens, an apple tree, a peach tree, and an orange tree, with a toucan perched on a branch. They picked an orange for breakfast. Since it was her own little cabin, in her own little ship, Margaret worked hard and tied it up with a joyful hustle-bustle. All the sparkling morning, while she scrubbed on the deck and made the ship ready to sail, she sang an old sea chanty. All the sailor's life is bold and free. His home is on the rolling sea. Heave ho, my lads, come sail with me. The Maggie B was soon riding the top of the waves like a bird. In the early afternoon, Margaret and James had a picnic lunch under the apple tree. What shall we have for supper tonight? Margaret wondered as soon as lunch was over. With a lovely idea in her mind, she gathered a basketful of delicious things from the farm. And out of the sea, she netted a blue-green lobster and a silvery sea bass. This page won't flip. On her little stove, Margaret set a big pot of broth to bubble and boil. She chopped the vegetables and put them into the pot. And then it with sweet-smelling herbs, the gleaming, the glistening fish, and the naughty, hard, shallow lobster. As she whipped off her apron, she closed her eyes and breathed in the smell of the good sea stew. All afternoon it would simmer and fill the air with its fragrance. The Maggie B sailed steadily on the breeze, and was a gentle, warm and soft. And the breeze was gentle, warm and soft. James had his nap on a velvet pillow, and Margaret painted a handsome portrait of him. After juice and cookies time, she gave James his counting lesson, and this is how she did it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Once I caught a fish on one. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. But I let him go again. Why did you let him go so? 'Cause he bit my fingers. So, which finger did he bite? The little one upon the right. She gave James a little finger nibble, which made him laugh and laugh until he suddenly stopped. The sun had disappeared. Margaret and James were cold. The sky grew darker. The goat and the chickens fled into their little shelter. The toucan flew screeching into the cabin. James started to cry. A storm was coming. Margaret must make the boat ready at once. She took in the sail and tied it tight. She dropped the anchor and stowed all the gear, while the rain drummed on the deck and thunder rumbled above her. Lightning split the sky as she ran into the cabin and slammed the door against the wet wind. Now everything was safe and secure. When she lit the lamps, the cabin was bright and warm. It was nearly supper time, so Margaret mixed up a batch of muffins and slid them into the oven. She sliced some peaches and put cinnamon and honey on the top. They went into the oven too. James was given a splashy bath in the sink. Margaret dried him in a big warm towel. Then supper was ready. This page won't flip again. Oh, there we go. Outside, the wind howled like a pack of hungry wolves. Rain lashed the window panes, and the sturdy little Maggie B kept her balance and rocked only the nicest little bit. Margaret and James ate the beautiful sea stew and dunked their muffins in the broth, which tasted of all the good things that had cooked in it. For dessert, they had peaches with cinnamon and honey, and glasses of warm goat's milk. When supper was over, Margaret played old tunes on her fiddle. Then she rocked James in his cradle and sang him her favorite song. Sweet and low, wind of the western sea. Whoa, whoa, breathe and blow, wind of the western sea. Over the rolling waters go, comfort the dying moon, and blow, blow him again to me, while my little one, while my pretty blood sleeps. Margaret tucked in the baby's covers and took a last look out in the night. The storm was not an angry one anymore. A nice, steady rain made a lullaby sound on the roof of the cabin. So Margaret got into her bunk and blew out her lamp and curled up inside the nest of blankets and fell asleep. The day on the Maggie B was over.